This one seems crazy. Let's take a look at this one. This one's called The Crown, the White Horse Symbolism. This is the end rapture scene, the graduation cap exposed.
This is a continuation of my last video and the importance of signs and symbols, as we see here with what I call the crown. And that gets back to what I showed in my last video presentation, the quote from Manly P. Hall: "When the human race learns to read the language of symbolism, a great veil will fall from the eyes of men." And definitely, this is the key aspect to learning about what is really taking place in this world. Again, this world full of nothing but lies and deception. And that again gets back to what's going down now. And the crown symbolism, a huge aspect to what is taking place today. And again, the crown, the wreath, symbolism all over the place, going back to Roswell and Stanton Friedman, as I showed again in my previous video. As you see here, Stanton Friedman with the globe in the back.
Coronavirus is called the coronavirus because of the spike proteins on it that make it look like it has a crown. Corona means crown.
And again, the book, Crash at the Crown, like I call it. And that gets into this movie that was released back in 2013, which has really fallen under the radar with the importance of a lot of symbolism. And let's get right to it with this scene here, where Seth Rogan, the actor...
If I look anywhere for my worldview and where they're hiding the secrets of how the world really works, it's Seth Rogen stoner comedies, typically. That's why Sausage Party is basically my Bible.
Supposedly the director. We know there's people behind the scenes behind all of this. And these people are just, they're given credit for producing, directing these movies, when again, there's people definitely behind the scenes behind all of this. And before even moving forward into the symbolism of the crown, I want to show this with the actor going inside the fridge to get a drink. And when he pulls it out, of course, just take a look at the color orange.
Yeah, it's like a Fanta. It's an orange soda. What?
Again, all about symbolism and the number 33 when it comes to Freemasonry. But more importantly, again, this
guy's like Hans Wormhat. He believes in the orange 33 stuff.
movie really,
maybe this is where Hans got it, honestly.
Flying under the radar when it comes to symbolism. And there you go right here in this one scene in the convenience store before the rapture takes place with this scene in the movie. Let's move it forward.
It says Corona because Corona is a brand of beer.
And right when
they're in a liquor store or like a convenience store with liquor and beer and stuff.
So the crown symbolism.
Honestly, it's probably intentional based on the framing, product placement. Corona probably paid them to put that in the movie.
Take a look at what takes place. And this is, again, the rapture scene from the movie. And take a look at what happens. All these people get raptured up. They get pulled up into the air, into the sky, being raptured away. And that gets into the whole topic of, again, what I covered earlier in my previous video, with the whole idea of the alien agenda that's being pushed, this false agenda, which we all know, Project Bluebeam, and the whole idea, again, of the rapture. And this is the reasoning behind this, to conceal what's really happening with these people being taken away, being raptured away. Society's going to be told they've been taken away by aliens, when in reality they've been raptured. So that's a concept as far as this movie is concerned, again, with the rapture and the whole alien agenda. They're going to, as always, give false meanings, false reasonings for things. And definitely, again, getting back to the whole idea of the crown itself, this video is really going to be about symbolism, as always, towards the end times. And I showed this before in a live stream with Billy Idol in San Francisco during this concert. And you see the lightning bolt, which represents Satan, as you see here at Marilyn Manson.
I'm gonna be honest, if I'm Satan, I can find better emissaries than Billy Idol in the year 2020. Like, I have nothing against Billy Idol. I like some Billy Idol songs from the 80s and stuff. Not so much his cyberpunk album, but, you know, he's had some hits, okay? Nothing wrong with Billy Idol, okay? However, if I'm Satan, I find a more famous spokesperson than Billy Idol.
And the same exact lightning bolt, where it states in Luke chapter 10, verse 18 in the Bible, where Jesus beheld Satan falling from heaven as lightning. And what do? They put the crown on Satan, the representation of Satan, the lightning bolt. So definitely the symbolism
Since when is
there.
Satan a lightning bolt? I missed the memo on that one.
And of course the one-eyed symbolism with Marilyn Manson. And as I showed before as well, the ending of this one VHS tape for Billy Idol. At the very end, it says management. You can see here in the credits, it's D-Men Entertainment.
His manager's last name is Deman, you idiot. He's not a demon. Okay, guys, we're part of a secret cabal that's bringing Satanism to the kids via our demonic magic. Now, you know what would be really funny? What if we call our agency Demand Entertainment? Why? Why would we tell them we're demons? No, we spell it completely differently. But it's like, wink, wink, we're demons. But don't think we're demons. Oh, that seems really stupid, because our whole plan is based around being secretive about this. Oh, also, we should put a Satan symbol behind Billy Idol. Okay.
With the orange background. So definitely you know who Billy Idol, the Billy Goat, is working for. And again, it comes down to the devil is 33, just like orange. So again, everything is coordinated. There's definitely a reason behind all these concepts. And that gets into this from a Masonic encyclopedia. The ancient practice of Masons conversing without the use of speech. So again, they're telling you without speaking with signs and symbols, definitely. And so very important to understand this concept. And let's take a look here at this one presentation with all the concept, the compass rose and the 33, the rose cross, like Jesus Christ rose from the dead. Golgotha, the place of the skull. As you can see here, symbolism is so very important, of course, to Freemasonry, as I demonstrated many times with Crowley.
I'm gonna be real. This says, like, Golgotha or something, I don't know, but when I first initially looked at it, the word looked like cat girls to me, and I was like, wait, what? Cat girls? Are we talking about cat girls now? I'm tired.
As I demonstrated many times with Crowley, and you see the sign for Baphomet. Let's get a little bit of a closer look. As you can see here, the multi-crosses, the Baphomet is, of course, on the hat of the Grand Sovereign Commanders, as I showed many times. George Washington being the very first U.S. president. He's listed first as a Freemason and first president in that order, of course.
Probably that's something on property owned by the Freemasons, so they're going to be like, hey, here's George Washington. Also, he was a Freemason. Isn't that cool? He was part of our club.
With Freemasonry being in the order of importance, and as I mentioned many times, with the G for 33, with the square and the compass, with Freemasonry, When it comes to the alphabet, of course, A through Z is 1 through 26. The G is a 7. Also, when you flip over the alphabet, you land on G again. It is a 33. So definitely all by design. And getting back to more imagery here with this Grand Sovereign Commander, of course, with the same sign as Baphomet, as I should point out, the Masonic goat god, as you see the as above, so below. But again, all about symbols here. You have, of course, the crown, which this video is all about, the dual-headed eagle, and of course, the all-seeing eye within the pyramid. And a very important aspect to point out with the pyramid itself is the angles within. It's 60 degrees within each angle. So in numerology, the way they work is the zeros mean nothing. So you have your 6, 6, and 6, 4, 6, 6, 6.
That's just how geometry works. The interior angles of a The interior angles of a triangle add up to 180 degrees. So if you have like an equilateral triangle, that's by necessity. That's just how...
6 within the pyramid itself, again with the all-seeing eye. So definitely every single aspect there is a reason. And again, getting back to the whole idea about,
like, I'm really bad at math, and even I know about the add up of the interior angles of triangles. Like, how stupid is this guy?
Baphomet, the as above, so below. This is biblical, where Jesus separated the sheep from the goats, as mentioned in Matthew 25, the sheep up and the goats down. So this represents heaven and hell. And again, getting back to more symbolism, and you see here, moving on here with, as you can see, Nelson Mandela with Morgan Freeman, and getting a little bit of close-up of Nelson Mandela and the symbol with the ribbon. This is so very important when it comes to Freemasonry. Again, with symbols. He's wearing the coded 33 with ribbon.
I imagine... This is the thing with people like this who see symbology absolutely everywhere. They have so many different things that they claim, mean things, whether it's ribbon or the color orange or any number involving 6. If all of these things mean Satanism or Freemasonry, then you're going to be able to pick up on it everywhere, because the color orange is a common color. The number 33 or the number 6 are common numbers. The angles of triangles just work like that. Like, they're gonna pick up on it absolutely everywhere. It's so frustrating that they're unable to see that they're just looking for stuff, and they're creating situations. And yes, it was an AIDS ribbon. It's literally an AIDS awareness ribbon.
Being 33. So they're very clever in the way they operate. And of course, Morgan Freeman wearing the black and white tuxedo. Again, all about signs and symbols.
The color black and white in combination, even though they're some of the most commonly put together colors ever, because they're contrasting. One is all the colors of the spectrum. One is like none of them, right? My computer. Okay. My computer is black and white. Does that mean it's satanic? No! It means it's a common color combination. Ugh. So the color orange, the color black and white, the number 33, the number 6, any sort of ribbon... These are things that are all satanic. And if anyone has any of these things, you're satanic.
And we should get back here to a very important aspect of the world deception, and that's shaping and forming the minds of the youth. As I showed earlier, as you see in the right-hand corner with these graduate students, again, getting back to the ancient practice of Masons conversing without the use of speech. And these students have no idea the whole concept of the mortarboard that they wear and how ridiculous they look wearing these stupid looking graduation hats.
I'm pretty sure people understand that graduation caps are interesting looking, but it's just part of the ceremony. It's a ceremonial thing. You don't wear them out and about.
And again, it comes back to Freemasonry, the bricklayers of society, education. It's not.
I'm pretty sure that's not the case. Where do graduation caps come from? History of graduation caps. This particular style of cap has been developed in the 15th century, evolving from the square-shaped berettas used by Catholic clerics, scholars, and professors. The tassel worn around the motorboard is the one item of regalia that is probably allowed for the greatest latitude when it comes to traditions. It is in black, or the university's colors, or the colors of a specific college. So it comes from, like, Catholic tradition, and then it spread out into academia, and then it's just continued to be a thing that goes on today.
Not about education, it's about indoctrination. As you can see here, this depiction of the Bricklayer College graduation, shaping and forming the minds.
It's just a joke. It's just a funny visual gag. It's not meant to be informative.
Of the use. And as you can see here, the mortarboard being put to use. Again, shaping and forming society when it comes down to it. Look at all these indoctrinated students that have no clue of what's taking place. And this is a very sad reality. Generation after generation being basically brainwashed into the lie system. And you just look at the youth of today, and now they're wearing these face coverings. And
yeah, because there's a global pandemic. We're up to 356,000 deaths in the United States alone, and we're at our highest daily death count. We're now at more than a 9/11 death toll every single day. Wear a mask, please.
It's just really sad to see this. And again, these students have no idea, again, how ridiculous they look, not only with the mortarboard hat, but also the face covering. And that gets into the so-called enlightened ones, like you see here with Bill Cosby. He's not wearing that flat
oh no
mortarboard hat. It's only intended for the indoctrinated, not for the enlightened ones. It's considered an insult to wear, again, these ridiculous looking hats. And just more images, photos of Bill Cosby, as you can see here, during this one presentation at a college, again wearing the standard baseball type of cap. And you see him here with the cap with the tassels. All about Freemasonry. Of course, when you graduate, you get your degree. Just like in Freemasonry, the multiple or the many degrees of Freemasonry. And of course, Bill Cosby being one of the so-called enlightened ones with the all-seeing eye, or the one-eyed symbolism.
Who said Bill Cosby was an enlightened one?
He's quite young. And this is another one where he's a bit younger as well. But one thing people might say, what about all the controversy surrounding Bill Cosby that's been in the spotlight over the years? It's nothing but nonsense. It's world stage theater. And you can see him.
No, he's in jail because he assaulted a bunch of women. That's a thing that happened.
Smiling, laughing. And even with his attorneys, they're all laughing. And this is their way of communicating, again, without speaking, as I showed earlier. They're not going to tell you with words. It's a bunch of nonsense. But they'll tell you, again, without speech, without speaking. And it's very, very clear and very, very obvious. And getting back to Bill Cosby not wearing those ridiculous graduation caps, just like other celebrities. You see here, these three here, Ellen DeGeneres, Oprah Winfrey, Will Ferrell. And all.
Did he just call Will Ferrell Will Ferrell? I kind of like that. Ooh, hype train.
Also Tom Hanks at Yale. And they wear the baseball cap. Or Steve.
They're not the ones graduating. He's giving a speech. The hat's for when you're graduating, or maybe even if you get like an honorary degree, but Tom Hanks is just giving a speech at Yale. Why would he be wearing one?
Jobs case, you just don't wear a hat at all. You don't wear that ridiculous cap. It's, again, only meant for the unenlightened, the indoctrinated students to wear. Now, talking about Tom Hanks and getting back to the crown symbolism, as you can see here, and this is a photo from Twitter that he posted.
He posts a lot of typewriters. Tom Hanks collects antique typewriters, which is maybe a little redundant. I guess at this point most typewriters are probably antique. But that's a hobby that Tom Hanks has, so he posts a lot of pictures of typewriters and stuff.
Well, he's in Australia, and take a look at this typewriter and what it says here. Basically, the dual crowns on the typewriter.
I'm pretty sure Corona was a pretty big brand of typewriters back in the day. Hold on, let me, Sorry, I keep having to take these off and put them on. It's hard to type in them. Corona typewriters. Typewriter company. Is there just a Wikipedia page? Smith Corona. Smith Corona is an American manufacturer of thermal labels, direct thermal labels, and thermal ribbons used in warehouses for primary barcode labels. Once a large U.S. typewriter and mechanical calculator manufacturer, it expanded aggressively during the 60s. So it was like one of the world's biggest typewriter companies. And he's like, look, this typewriter has the name of a like, imagine if someone, like, pointed out an iPhone, right? And they pointed to the Apple on the back of the iPhone, or the iMac, or whatever, and they're like, this is representative of Eve eating the apple of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, and people, you know, you can pick out any random thing and claim it's got some sort of sinister symbolism.
As you can see, and of course, what it says here is 33 numerology. What a major surprise that is. And of course, when you have it posted twice, that's the duality, that's the dual 33s, as I show many times with Luther Smith, the Grand Sovereign Commander. Also with Madonna, and also a typewriter with the crown symbolism for all to see.
It's the name of the
of
company.
Course, this concert from back in 2019 with Madonna and the face coverings being worn. Okay, what does this remind you of? Which I'll show in a moment. And that gets to Denver, Colorado, which we all have seen the murals at the airport.
Again, these people's, like, pop culture knowledge seem to have stopped sometime in the 90s. Because I don't think anyone's cared about Madonna since the early 2000s or something like that. Not that there's anything, I don't know anything about Madonna. I don't know if she's done anything questionable. But, like, I just don't think her music's been particularly big outside of a nostalgia thing for the past 20 years or so. Why does she have privy knowledge? Oh, good, he's going to go to the Denver International Airport.
And I'll get to a little bit more on this later on. But these are basically identical type of masks that you see here.
It's a gas mask. That's a gas mask. It's a mural. For those who don't know, the Denver International Airport, a lot of conspiracy theorists are obsessed with it because they have a lot of interesting art pieces. So they'll look at stuff like this and be like, oh my god, it's about a New World Order, evil, whatever, you know? They'll read into it. Basically, it's an art piece about how war, you know, damages people, innocent people, women and children, and innocents who had nothing to do with the conflict. It's a general, like, war guy with a sword and a gun stabbing at a dove of peace. It's not even subtle. It is what it is. But of course, conspiracy theorists gotta look at it and be like, ah, blah, 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 blah.
Let's get back to the image again with Madonna. And literally the same kind of mask that you...
Yeah, they're gas masks. They're gas masks based on World War II era gas masks. Do you know anything? Do you know what a gas mask is? It's not a fictional thing. They're basing these on real things that exist.
See being worn. And before all this crown, like I said, I'll call it the crown, nonsense first started. Literally, it goes back to Kobe, and where he was supposedly his final resting place with his daughter. And you can see the...
This is distasteful. I don't even want to touch on this very much, but Corona del Mar.
Right,
Corona is a Spanish word, right? It's a Spanish word, and Del Mar also is. So it's the name of a town. Again, Corona means crown, basically.
I'll just call it the Crown Del Mar.
That's right, capitalistic propaganda.
And here you see, I'll just call them GF
Thanks
for
for the hype
short.
train.
And definitely with these, of course, staged photos, all the symbolism in plain sight.
Oh, yikes. Okay, I'm skipping past the Kobe thing, because this is really, really disrespectful. I'm not even like a sports person, but come on. He just passed. And so did, I think, his daughter. Like, that's not cool.
Close up, you can see it's 33 centiliters. Unbelievable how all this comes into play, but that's not the only thing. The color of the logo itself, the design of this beer, it's golden blue. And the golden blue just so happens to...
Oh, so orange, black and white, and golden blue. Basically any colors. He can find some way of making it sinister.
be 33 as well. It's really unbelievable. You have 333s basically for your 666 when it comes to the crown. Again, being 33. The color code itself, like I just mentioned. And of course, the weight. The volume inside the actual drink itself is 33. So it's really unbelievable how far they go with these concepts. And again, it's going to go over society's head. The majority, the masses, they have no idea what's taking place whatsoever. And that gets into this quote by Noam Chomsky, which I showed many times over the years. The general population doesn't know what's happening, and it doesn't even know that it doesn't know.
Okay, what he's talking about is like the military-industrial complex, American neo-imperialism, wealthy, like taking money from the working class and hiding it over. Like, he's not talking about Freemasonry. He's talking about like issues with capitalism and issues with America's imperial interventionalist foreign policies.
And this one as well from Noam Chomsky. The world is a very puzzling place. If
Manufactured consent, yeah.
you're not willing to be puzzled, you just become a replica of someone else's mind. And what it comes down to is the elite know, even though when they leak this truth out there with their puppets like Noam Chomsky, definitely no hero, but the masses have been so far down a path of lie, so powerfully indoctrinated into the lie system at a very young age. Once you're successfully indoctrinated into the lie system, when truth is introduced, it will be rejected. That's how strong the programming is. And that, again, gets back to how they reveal the truth as a form of mockery. And, again, the public will not get it. They will not understand this. Now, getting back to this one photo, this so-called iconic photo of GF, and I did mention the red and yellow as well.
Oh, so now also red and yellow. So blue and yellow, and red and yellow. So McDonald's is satanic or a Freemason thing or something.
Very, very important key aspect.
Every single color is apparently Freemasonry. If every color is a symbol for Freemasonry, then none of them are, because they're just everywhere.
Again, is the sign symbols, dates, numbers, and colors, like I mentioned many times, when it comes to, again, the red and yellow. Just like you see here on the MasterCard, you have the red and yellow, and it makes orange.
That's how colors work!
And the color
That's how additive colors work!
coding is so prevalent in society, as you can see here with these companies, and the hammer.
Ah, yes. My favorite fast food restaurant. The Soviet Union. thank you for choosing the USSR. What can I get for you today? I'll have a 5-year plan, a new railroad system, 3 gulags, and a large Coke. Thank you, that'll be 33,000 rubles. Please, move ahead to the first window, comrade. Jesus Christ.
Sickle with the Soviet Union, Russia, as you can see as well, Pizza Hut. But one thing I find interesting is McDonald's, the NWO's #1 fast food restaurant of choice. And the MM, as you can see here, basically here, dual 33s in plain sight when you turn it sideways. So again, we live in this world just like the movie They Live. With the
question, what about all the McDonald's's that don't have 4 arches all next to each other? Because most of them don't. The one near me has 1. It's just on the sign by the road, but it doesn't have other ones. It has one of those newer designs with, like, the swoosh. No? Nothing? Okay.
Billboards, and of course, that will be towards the end where people can see that as far as our...
The USSR makes you hungry? The USSR made millions of people hungry. There's a little Soviet famine joke for you, Jesus Christ.
Reality where people see McDonald's, but they don't see the dual 33s in plain sight. One thing I want to point out as well when it comes to JF and the whole crown symbolism, and that's getting into the nonsense that's taking place today, where he supposedly, of course, contracted this nonsense here, and that gets involved with the other characters on the world stage. As you can see here, the supposed hero cop in Seattle, when he turns his back, and this was all over the mainstream media as well, as he shows his back, and what do you see? The crown in California, in the checkmate or checkmate in the black.
Let me look up this company. Hold on. Checkmate. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And this is his, I don't know what they call, not a dojo, I don't think, because it's, it's not karate. Whatever they would call this. That's the name of his business. So he's wearing a sweater from like a gym for people who study Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It is a dojo? Okay.
Black and white.
That would have taken 5 seconds for this guy to Google.
Symbolism. And of course, as I shown before, the Freemasonic symbolism, as you can see here with the 33. And he goes by G. Anderson 33. Just an amazing coincidence, I'm sure, to the coincidence theorist. Now, a huge aspect when it comes to programming, of course, is the movie industry, Hollywood. And you can see here from this 1987 movie called Full Metal Jacket, where I show, again, Luther Smith, this Grand Sovereign Commander, and all in plain sight with this one scene. You see the dual 33s and the eagle of Freemasonry all in plain sight. So you'll understand when you watch a movie such as Captain America, and you have this one screenshot.
Ah, yes. The cinematic... Full Metal Jacket. Great. Stanley Kubrick? Did Stanley Kubrick do Full Metal Jacket? I'm correct, right? Anyway, one of the best movies of all time, Full Metal Jacket, at least the first half, versus Captain America, the First Avenger. They're all over the place with the symbolism.
Here, in this one movie, and there's so much symbolism taking place that will again go over the 99.9%'s head. They will not see was right in front of them. Again, when it comes to revelation of the method or predictive programming with this movie. And just getting a little bit of a close-up, as you can see here, the crown symbolism. Okay, and you see
I'm pretty sure that's a firework. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be a firework going off.
the stadium with empty seats, all in plain sight. And it's
Captain America Civil War, or not Civil War, Captain America the First Avenger came out in like 2000, 2010, 2011? Coronavirus wasn't discovered until, at least this coronavirus, COVID-19, wasn't discovered until 2019. It's in the name.
Broadway. This world's nothing but a stage, so this is a very
No, it's because they're on Broadway. It's because the intersection is... They're... Ah! Does he not know that Broadway is an actual street? Does he not know that Broadway is a real street?
very appropriate.
You're interested in why it says Sister Act? It's an ad for the Sister Act stage play, the musical. There's a Sister Act musical. And it was on Broadway at the time that this was filmed.
That you see Broadway all in plain.
Oh no, so there's a Snopes article on this? Fine. Did Captain America movie predict the coronavirus pandemic? Let me see what the actual origin is. There we go. Yeah, it was supposed to be a firework. It was an ad for Barilla pasta that looked like fireworks. I called it. I called that shit. Do I ever worry that I'll snap one day and turn into one of these conspiracy nuts? Kind of. A little bit. It would be easy to fall into it. I think it'd be easier than any of us would like to admit, you know? If I ever do, snap me out of it, chat.
Sight, you look a little bit lower, and you see what I'll call the face covering.
It's the poster for Phantom of the Opera. Like the longest running Broadway production of all time. Or is that Cats? Cats or Phantom of the Opera is. They're both very high up there.
Again, all in plain sight. All the symbolism.
He doesn't know enough about musical theater to be talking about these ads.
Is all there for all to see. And a little bit to the right, a little bit of a close-up to the right, is you see the McDonald's, and again, the MM for 33.
That's just a real McDonald's that's in Times Square.
The umbrella symbolism. They love the umbrella symbolism, as I covered years ago in the Rihanna music video, Umbrella, featuring Jay-Z. And as you can see, this performance with all the umbrellas. And as I broke down the video, all the symbolism with Baphomet in the water splash coming towards the camera. But again, the umbrella itself, going back to ancient Buddhism, and you see the umbrella symbolism.
Okay, so also umbrellas. Any umbrella, even though umbrellas are used for practical purposes, either shielding you from rain, or I guess snow if you wanted, or sun if it's really bright out, you're a Freemason, which is also the same thing as a Buddhist or something, because Buddhism. This guy's worse than Hans. I think this guy is worse than Hans. Because at least Hans, I don't know. Hans wasn't smart, but I think Hans wasn't as confident as this guy. This guy feels like he's hot shit, and I don't like it.
And I just look at it as some type of protection with these occultists. And again, they carry on the tradition in plain sight with their false god, Buddha. Again, all in plain sight with their symbolism. But every little aspect, there's reasons, of course, and there's absolutely more in here if people want to dig a bit more, but definitely the major ones I am pointing out.
That's definitely on the bingo card if you're still playing for fun, by the way. Misunderstanding of Eastern religion. Someone demonstrates a poor understanding of philosophy, Eastern religion. For sure.
And that gets into the whole scene once again with Captain America. And this time a little bit left. Gotta zoom in, you gotta look in the background to see more. The more you dig, the more you find. And definitely the crown. And I'll just get a little bit of a close-up.
Corona is one of the most popular beer brands in the United States.
You see, again, the crown symbolism. And you can see where it says George. And this has been pointed out before. So again, always the hidden in plain sight. They love to have their Easter eggs all in plain sight. And that gets back to another Easter egg when it comes to the crown with this Michael Douglas movie called Falling Down in the Korean convenience store. And you see the dual crown signs, the dual 33 in plain sight. And Michael just happens to be a 33 name as well. Just a little bit of a close-up. And I want to get into more symbolism when it comes down to it with all we've seen in recent history with the horse or the white horse symbolism.
So horses. All horses are now symbolic and not just, horses.
And before continuing on with this horseman bus, the Royal Berkshire bus in the UK. And I've covered this in the past. When you look at the license plate, again, the coded license plates. Always look at the license plates when it comes to these news stories. Very often they're coded. And you have here YX68UAW. And what do you have here? Your 33, of course. And this comes down to the Bible when it comes to the white horse symbolism.
Do these people spend all day typing random words and words in photos into that, numerology thing to see what comes up as 33?
And that gets back to the crown. And I saw...
Sometimes also he'll put a space, but other times he won't. I assume because one of them, does, in fact, produce 33 and the other one doesn't. Which seems pretty inconsistent. You'd think it'd be one or the other, with or without a space, not both.
And behold, a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given to him, and he went forth conquering. This is from Revelation 6:2. So again, all this stuff we see coded in plain sight with these news stories. Definitely there's a reason. And even going back in time with the white Bronco, with AC and both OJ owning a white Bronco each. So definitely, it's all in plain sight with their symbolism, with their news stories. And
O.J. Simpson murdered his ex-wife and her new boyfriend and got away in a Ford Bronco because Freemasons?
The 33 front and back of the license plate. And of course, with Barack Obama in Denver, Colorado during the speech, and you see the white horse in plain sight. So again, the symbolism
That's
is
part of the stadium.
always there. And in conjunction, of course, with the crown is the white horse. And again, of course, it gets back to this Bible verse. The crown, the white horse symbolism. And again, getting back to Denver, and this is what I showed earlier.
The team are the Broncos, yeah. Yep, the Denver Broncos. Why do they have a horse? Oh, it's the team? Never mind.
With the dove, which represents peace. Obviously, you see the end result with this dove. And you see the covering and just more symbolism. As you can see this monument again in the Denver airport. And you see the Masonic Square and Compass, of course. Denver International Airport. Get a little bit of a close-up. And you see New World Airport Commission. And again, all the symbolism in plain sight. Like I mentioned throughout this video, the whole idea.
Oh, is he going to talk about the horse sculpture outside the Denver International Airport?
The whole concept as the Bible verse, Revelation 6:2, with the white horse.
It doesn't look like he does. He missed out. Hold on. Denver Airport horse. This horse is not white, so it wouldn't work. But a lot of conspiracy theorists will also bring up this creepy horse sculpture that's outside of the Denver International Airport, and they'll tie it into the conspiracy. So he actually missed out on this one. He should have brought up the horse.
The crown symbolism. So again, You know, as time moves on, definitely things are made very, very clear, and definitely it's all in plain sight.
John chapter 9, verse 25. Whereas once I was blind, now I can see. Now I can see.
Again, the movie They Live is about capitalism. John Carpenter has explicitly said this. It is not about some New World Order bullshit. It is about the current status quo under capitalism. Like, I'm all for death of the author. If that's not how you want to see They Live, that's fine. But that was the intent. If you give a shit about authorial intent at all. Jesus, this guy is out there. He has a ton of videos, too. So, I'm excited to explore more of this guy in the future. I miss Hans, so I need another conspiracy theorist who sees nonsense absolutely everywhere. But they'll never replace Hans. Not in my heart.